Tonight is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening, I'm Carol Peck. Here's what's happening. Nassau County Police say a 33-year-old man was found dead in a house fire in Elmont. Police say firefighters responding to the blaze on Madison Street yesterday evening found the victim's body in a first-floor bathroom. His identity is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. Police say the fire, which started in the kitchen of the two-story wood frame house, appears to be accidental. There were no other occupants in the house at the time of the fire. Suffolk County police are investigating the stabbing death of a Bayshore man early this morning. Police say they responded to 39th and Pacific Streets in Copiague after a 911 caller reported a man had been stabbed. According to police, they found 23-year-old Nicholas Murphy of Bayshore inside a vehicle. They say he had been stabbed on Emerald Street North in North Amityville, but had fled with two companions. Murphy was transported to Good Samaritan Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The investigation is continuing, and detectives are asking anyone with information to call the Suffolk County Homicide Squad. 10 people have now been accused of driving the wrong way on Long Island roads while under the influence of alcohol. And today, 3 of those suspects were formally charged with DWI in Suffolk County. They are 54-year-old Ralph Cerullo of East Setauket, 40-year-old Christopher Williams of East Northport, and 43-year-old Timothy Griffin of Yaphank. With an increasing number of wrong-way driving incidents endangering lives on Long Island roadways, Nassau County officials recently proposed legislation that would require a mandatory sentence for DWI. Sean Hall has the story.
District Attorney Kathleen Rice, along with New York State Senator Charles Fuschillo, are calling for mandatory jail time for repeat DWI offenders. They say there have been too many wrong-way crashes on New York State roads caused by drunk drivers.
Drunk drivers do not deserve the benefit of the doubt. They deserve to be arrested and prosecuted before they kill another innocent victim.
Rice and Fuschillo are calling on Albany to do something about drivers who don't learn from past mistakes, like sending them to jail.
In that hopefulness that the lawmakers in Albany are listening to the citizens of this state who have said enough is enough and enact legislation that makes jail time mandatory for repeat drunk drivers.
And Fuschillo says repeat offenders shouldn't just get community service. He says judges need to send out a stronger message by issuing tougher sentences.
In New York State, as I said, it has to stop, and we've seen too many second, third, and fourth chances here in New York State, and all it is an opportunity to kill somebody, to ruin families, and take away everything that they've worked so hard for in their lives.
That if you drive drunk in Nassau County or anywhere throughout New York State, you are going to be treated seriously. This is a crime. This is not just a social problem.
In Mineola, Sean Hall, LI News Tonight.
What do an elderly Holocaust survivor and a young high school bullying victim have in common? They've both suffered as targets of intolerance, as Tanya Carvalho reports.
I was fortunate to be raised in a family that both remembered and used the lessons of the Holocaust to teach me the importance of tolerance.
15-year-old Carly Hanft is a third-generation Holocaust survivor, but she's also experienced bullying firsthand.
I see bullying kids, making fun of other kids, and teachers just ignoring it, and it's not right. People need to do something, whether it's going up to that kid or telling a teacher, just doing something. Anything will help.
Carly was one of the speakers at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County who say that the lessons learned during the Holocaust can be used to stop bullying.
Apparently, we have not learned enough from the Holocaust of 65 years ago not to repeat it in certain parts of the world today. The Holocaust started with bullying, with name-calling, with people being looked at as undesirable or not good enough. And then it just progresses.
A new anti-bullying law called the Dignity for All Students Act was recently passed in New York State by Governor Patterson. Once this new law takes effect in 2012, students like Carly will hopefully be able to go to school without fear of being bullied. And just like those who helped save the Jews, Carly says we should all do what we can to help stop the bullying.
Be an upstander. Don't like when you see a fight going on, don't just be one of those kids that like watches the fight. Go do something, whether it's telling a teacher, going up to that fight, do something. Don't just stand there and watch.
In Glen Cove, Tanya Carvalho, LI News Tonight.
We may have been experiencing winter-like weather for weeks, but the 2010 winter season only just arrived at 6:38 this evening. Today is the shortest day of the year with less daylight than any other day, and just knowing it's winter may make some people feel a little sad. We asked Long Islanders what they think of the onset of the coldest season of the year.
I like it at first. And I like, you know, kind of curling up at home with a book and an Afghan. After Christmas and New Year's, it gets kind of old.
I hate the cold.
You're not a cold person?
I hate the cold, no. I like the beach.
I'm not enjoying it. It's too cold.
I hate it. I was in Texas for 2 years. 115 degrees and 70 degrees. Forget this.
I try and stay inside mostly.
Are you a winter person or a summer person?
I'd say spring and fall.
If winter makes you think of snow, stay with us. We'll tell you about a chance of snow during our 5-day forecast later in the show. Stocks are up today as solid earnings and a flurry of merger action laid the foundation for an upward trend. The Dow closed up more than 55 points. The Nasdaq is up more than 18 points, and the S&P 500 is up more than 7.5 points. Stay with us. We'll have more news and weather as NYIT's LI News Tonight continues. Enjoy a day of family tours and art activities at the Nassau County Museum of Art in Roslyn, Tuesday through Thursday, December 28th, 29th, and 30th, between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. For more information, call 516-484-9337. The Gizmo Guys, a comedy juggling act, will be performing at the Freeburg JCC in Oceanside on Wednesday, December 29th at 2 p.m. For more information, call 516-634-4154. A jazz concert featuring the music of Jerome Kern will be performed at the Long Beach Public Library on Sunday, January 2nd at 2 p.m. For more information, call 516-432-7201. Or enjoy high tea in a holiday setting. It's a musical tribute to Patsy Cline at the Ward Melville Heritage Organization in Stony Brook on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. and Sundays at 12:30 p.m. through January 9th. For more information, call 631-689-5888. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In news from around the world, an explosive device was found this morning inside a train at a station on the outskirts of the Italian capital. However, the mayor of Rome says the bomb found in a subway car could not have exploded. BBC reports the device was made of gunpowder and metal tubes and was found under the seat of an empty train car. According to the APCOM news agency, the bomb, which was inside a grocery bag, was spotted by a conductor this morning. Bomb disposal experts determined the device could not have exploded because it didn't have a detonator. There have been growing concerns in Europe about holiday season attacks following a suicide bombing in Sweden. Details of a terrorism plot in the United Kingdom are emerging as police search the homes of 12 British suspects. The men are being held for questioning in what security officials are calling a potential large-scale attack aimed at British landmarks and public spaces. The men were taken into custody yesterday in the largest counterterrorism raid in nearly 2 years. At least 5 men are Bangladeshi origin. Lord Carliff, the government's independent reviewer of terror legislation, said today the alleged plot appears to be significant and would have involved several UK cities. Some possible targets include the Houses of Parliament and shopping areas. Police have up to 28 days to either charge the men or release them. The Vatican has clarified the Pope's controversial comments about condoms by saying he by no means suggested their use could be justified as a means of avoiding pregnancy. The Vatican's moral watchdog, the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith, issued the statement today, saying some commentators had misunderstood and misrepresented the Pope's remarks in a book-length interview released last month called Light of the World. The Vatican has been under pressure from conservative theologians to issue such a statement amid widespread confusion about the Pope's remarks and whether he was breaking with church teachings. New York is set to lose 2 seats in Congress as the state's slow growth has been outpaced in other states. That according to figures from the 2010 census released in Washington this morning. New York's current 29-member congressional delegation will drop to 27. That's the lowest number since 1823. The Democratic-controlled Assembly and newly Republican-led state Senate are tasked with drawing the new districts. New York's top court has rejected a Democratic state senator's request for a full manual recount in his narrow loss to a Republican newcomer here on Long Island. The ruling will return control of the Senate to Republicans with a 32-30 majority in January after 2 years of Democratic rule. The Court of Appeals is unanimously upholding a judge's certification that Senator Craig Johnson lost to political newcomer Jack Martins by 451 votes out of almost 85,000 cast. New York's new voting machines have paper copies of every vote, and the Democrats wanted all of them recounted in hopes that there were errors and Johnson won. However, the Court of Appeals says initial audits showed few discrepancies nor a substantial possibility that Johnson won. We had a cold, windy day to start the winter with today's high in the mid-30s. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low in the 20s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high in the upper 30s. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 30s. Christmas Eve should be mostly sunny with a high in the mid-30s. And the outlook for Christmas Day, snow showers possible with a high in the lower 30s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Carol Pack. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.